Welcome to episode 2 of BStoltman Speaks. I have received 2 additional questions, actually, in regards to my previous episode, in order to elaborate a little further on some of the information that I had given. One of the questions is, what is Planet X exactly? And the second one is, how do the conspiracies tie in with Comet ISON and Planet X? Both are good questions. What is Planet X exactly? Um, if you've studied Zecharia Sitchin's work on the Sumerian texts and Babylonian works, they talk about a supposed planet that actually has an elliptical orbit um, around our sun that has a 3,600-year cycle. So we have our normal planets that are going, around the sun and all that. But we have this one that's coming through and rotating, but it's coming out really wide, and so, we can't see it. Which is an intriguing idea. There are a lot of arguments against it and for it and all that. Some people say that it's not possible for such an orbit to exist because once it got far enough away, there wouldn't be enough pull from the sun to hold it anymore, and therefore, it would fly off somewhere else or get caught somewhere else, which is a valid point. This planet supposedly was the cause of the flood that is reported in biblical times, and that it actually came in close to the Earth, and when it came near our sun, and that it actually caused electromagnetic disturbances and gravitational adjustments, because it was actually, I believe it was like 4 or 5 times the size of Earth, and therefore it would actually disrupt everything, and it would cause tectonic plate movement and cause, lava flows and, an apocalyptic type of scenario. And in the Zecharia Sitchin story, that's, the fall of man and everything. That was the flood. Some of it speaks of how there were actually, it's like a spaceship actually that's just massive, like the Death Star or something from Star Wars, and that there were alien beings who came down here and manipulated us and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'd have to disagree to an extent. I think there's truth in those religious things, but it's nowhere near what most people are perceiving it to be. If you want more elaboration on that, you can ask me more specifically, but but yeah, that's basically what Planet X is, which, as I said, people are tying it in with Comet ISON, because Comet ISON, when NASA first announced it, actually had a very large elliptical orbit that they claimed it was actually following an elliptical orbit that it had passed us before. And so they said, well, it's Planet X. But it's nowhere near large enough if it's following the Zecharia Sitchin's work, obviously, because Comet ISON, I believe, was like 5 miles wide or something like that. It's still huge, but nothing in comparison to 5 times the Earth or something. I mean, that's crazy talk. And if something that big actually did come into our solar system, it would cause problems. I mean, it would throw everything off kilt. Because if you imagine Einstein's theory that you've got everything's on dark matter or whatever, it's like a fabric. And so planets that weigh more or bigger cause more of an indent, and therefore they kind of pull everything over. It's kind of like you set a ball on the bed, and then you push down. The more you push down in a different spot, the more it's going to be kind of pulled towards it. And so if something that large were to come in that close, it would definitely throw everything off, and it'd be catastrophic. I mean, it would be horrible. how do the conspiracies tie in with Comet ISON and Planet X? In my opinion, they really don't. But there are a lot of people who believe that Comet ISON was Planet X, which didn't make sense to me. I mean, I don't even see the parallels there. You know, it's like people are just grasping onto things and saying, "Oh, well, that's the Doombringer." You know, it's this big thing. It's not big enough. It is big. I mean, if let's say that the entire thing were to smack the Earth, it would cause massive problems. I mean, it would create tsunamis that would probably circle the Earth and stuff, because that's a huge mass if it actually made it all the way down and hit. But that's not what we're talking about here. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's not on that course anymore, and as I said, it did evaporate a lot of it. I believe there's probably still some left. We might see some dust come in and that kind of stuff, but nothing catastrophic. People are just trying to prove the theory as much as they can, and this is going to continue to go on. Every time some new thing comes in, they're going to say, "Oh, it's Planet X," and it's going to keep going, and until I see it, I don't buy it. My personal feelings on the Zecharia Sitchin story and that, I almost wonder if the moon itself was Planet X. It doesn't actually meet the criteria of the size, but according to science and NASA and that, we shouldn't have that moon. The moon should not be that size. It should not be in the place that it is. It does not fit the criteria of a moon. And there was actually some compelling information that came out that this was like 10, 15 years back or something like that. A comet came in and smacked the moon. And when it did this, it actually rang like a bell for like 3 or 4 hours, which implies that the moon is hollow. That didn't make sense according to science. I mean, why was it hollow? And then we started getting theories, well, you know, planets are made of molten material and it starts spinning really fast, and so obviously, you know, it kind of sucks it out, and so therefore it's hollow, which would then give credence to hollow Earth then. You know, maybe the Earth is actually hollow. You could actually dig far enough down that eventually you would actually hit a hollow space where it could be like almost a whole nother world inside of there, because it's hollowed out. But, you know, I'm kind of going off topic here. But yeah, that's the basic information. That's the conspiracy side of it. I don't know. All I can say is I feel completely confident it is not Planet X. It is not the end of the world, and this is just another thing that people are paying attention to that has no relevance to anything, for the most part. That's all I got on this. Please like, subscribe, promote. If you have any other questions, be sure to let me know. I will answer them as quick as I can. And have a good day.